What's going on, guys?
Hold up. What is that? So in my defense, I took my work shirt off, slapped this one on that I had in the back seat. Yeah, I'm trying to win a truck. Didn't even notice that this was on me, and I find it freaking hilarious. So we're not going to refilm. We're just going to freaking send it, dude.
So in today's video, we are going to be checking out the old Super Swampers. If you didn't see the other video, I recommend you go watching it, then come over here. But for anyone new, 3-inch leveling kit, 35, 12, 50, 20 Super Swamper IROC NDs on some stock MBS wheels of some year and trim level. Not really sure, but everyone wants to know, do the 35s run? Because us Chevy boys are usually cursed with the whole square fenders, which in all reality, the top of the fender being square doesn't really matter. You know, if it was rounded off, your tire's not up there anyways. However, if you run 33s on your stock wheels, they tend to look a little small. And so everyone wants to run the 35s. If you run 33s, like my other setup, on some wider wheels, 12 wides, 14 wides, the tires appear to be much bigger than they are, and everyone pretty much is happy with the way that they look as far as the size with 33s with offset. But like I said, most people want to run 35s when they have stock wheels or reps, but a lot of people are scared of rubbing and don't want their truck to rub at all. They want to be able to turn full lock 100% just like it was stock, but run a huge tire. And in most cases, that's just not the case unless you go to yakking on it and freaking cutting all kind of crap up. You do have to watch some manufacturers, because some manufacturers do not come in the true size that they are stated to be. So like the Aturos, they run a little skinny, they run a little short. In my case, that worked out great, because you see some of these guys that run 33s on 12 wides, it's truly a 12.5-inch wide tire, and they run into more rubbing issues than I did with the Aturos. Let's see. I know the grass is probably messing me up. I'll measure them again on concrete, and I'll put it right here what they actually measured out to. So I did a little driving clip when I pulled over here, and I did go full lock both ways. So let's go ahead and jump to that and see what it looks like. All right, so now that you've seen that, let's just go ahead and take a peek and see if we see anything rubbing. So I think the front is totally clear as far as this stuff. I feel like I felt it just oh so barely rubbing on something. We will, of course, turn the wheel here in a second and see exactly. A lot of people ask about the upper control arm. If I can squeeze in here, as you can see right here, you do have some rubbing. So that's full lock, it's hitting here. Let's check on the back. Now the back's fine. Oh, the back is fine. It's not hitting the sway bar or anything, but you do have it. Let's see if we can get over here. Maybe there's a little bit better lighting, as well as we'll see if it's rubbing on this side, because there can sometimes be differences. Yeah, right there is where she's touching. So, obviously these are aftermarket. These are ready lift upper control arms. Your stock ones might be wider, I don't remember, but it is rubbing on the upper control arm, and that is a problem you run into when you have stock offset and a bigger tire. A lot of people will just use the stock wheels that are on here, and they'll throw a 33 or a 35 on them, and sometimes that can lead to issues with it rubbing on the stock control arm. In my opinion, it's not that big a deal, honestly. Just don't go full lock. I mean, there's almost no driving conditions where I have to go full lock in this thing. I was actually surprised how much it actually turned to make it go full lock. So I drive with my 22x12s and 33s all the time, and it has plenty of turn, but like 2 full turns of the wheel, you're freaking fine. I have no need to go farther than that. All right, so we're still totally clear right here, but I feel like if at full crank, we're gonna hit that. Let's go ahead and turn it some more. All right, so that's full turn. And let me get y'all off of here and let y'all see this. is how much clearance we have right there. Obviously you see the frame right here, so you could technically come all the way back there, you know, pull this back, cut it out, whatever you want to do. But unless you're a Tacoma boy, you're not going to really want to cut these out. But that's probably a solid 1.5 to 2 inch gap until you hit actual frame. So let's go over here to the front on the other side, check out the front, see how close we are over here. Okay, so we've got just absolute boo-goose room up here. You're not going to hit any of this. I don't have the lower valance, but I doubt it would hit there as well. It possibly might though, so take that into consideration. So let's look right here, and there we are. So we are making contact. Hopefully y'all can hear me. We are making contact with the upper control arm. And this is at full lock, so I mean, she's fully cranked right there. And we are touching the upper control arm. So just barely touching the upper control arm there. And then we are clearing completely back here by whatever you want to, freaking 1/4 of an inch, if that. Obviously in the back you're going to be fine. Whatever size these are, 33s, 35s, you've got plenty of room. No issue there. And I mean, they look freaking sweet on here. Like I said, 33s usually look a little small on them. And then everybody wants to run 35s because it does have that better look. So, yeah, but these are obviously not fresh. These are not brand new. So they are not a full 35. So unfortunately, until I break down and get a set of brand new tires, brand new 35s, which I don't know if I will because I don't really love this look enough to spend that money. If I was going to, I would probably do like a 22 or 24 inch rep with a 35 on here, but that's expensive and I don't absolutely love that look rather than the offset, which I already have. So if you do run a true 35, you're gonna run into issues, just point blank. I see people hack this up all the time. As you can see, mine does take a little bit of abuse from the Turos just because they are on 12 wides. But I mean, this is just rub. I took this one bolt out. There was a bolt just like this right here. You just take that out. That way it's not catching and it's not gonna risk like ripping your tire lug off or doing something horrible like that. I would recommend not butchering this because I've seen some trucks with it and I personally think it's just horrible because most people just go to yakking this stuff and it's just bad. If you're dealing with just a little bit of rub like this, dude, just let it ride. It'll clear itself out and it not look freaking horrible. It is a 35, whether or not it measures that or not. Maybe it came with like inch taller lugs. I mean, they're not bald by any means. I'd say that's at least 30% tread probably. But yeah, this is where you're going to run into issues. Like I said, you've got a bunch of room, so and you can see how flexible this is. So you could really pop you a hole in it, zip tie it back some, and you see how much clearance just me pushing on it you really can get. So you could, I feel strongly that you could definitely run a 35 on here with very minimum work done to it. I think your front is going to be totally fine. Right there you can see just barely touching it. I mean, honestly, the other way is why it was rubbed worse, because I turned that way and drove that way more than I did this one. Honestly, that's not a big deal, especially on this. It's just touching your side lugs a little bit. If you have mud grapplers or something with a huge side lug, it might make more of an issue. But like I said, this is at full lock. Maybe I'm just weird, or it takes, you know, a breed of us that are stance fanatics or whatever it might be. You kind of just learn not to turn that much, and it's not that big a deal. Like on the Duramax, which I should film right after this because I need to do a does it rub video on that, because I need to show y'all how badly it rubs. I'm sure you know it rubs, but I need to show you how badly it rubs. On that, I'll just say that. Let's just say once you've dealt with not turning very much, when you got something like this, that you have all but one tiny little bit of your wheel that you can't turn all the way, it's freaking nothing. So that's pretty much going to do it, guys. Hopefully, you know, this was insightful. Unfortunately, they're not true 35s, so if you do buy brand new 35s, it's probably going to be a little more tight than what mine is, but this does give you a good, you know, representation of at least what a 34 inch or whatever it ended up measuring. Now, I know it's not a true 35 measure, but not that big a deal. You can deal with it, dudes. A little bit of rubbing, it's no big deal. If you get 35s and they measure out freaking huge, don't blame me if they don't fit, because like I said, some companies do. They go over or at least 100% what they state being a true 35, and then some do run small. So definitely verify, clarify before you go buying something like a mud grappler or something that usually measures a full size of what it's marketed as, and you run into issues. I guess maybe if I keep these, I might end up running a 35 mud grap on here. Don't really know if I want to spend the money, because they're like $1,500 for a set of mud graps. And I just, like I said, don't really love this setup that much to drop that much money into it. But yeah, so hopefully you did learn something from this video. If you have any comments, leave them down below. Leave a like if you did enjoy, and I will catch y'all in the next one.